MMA/UFC Facts That Sound Fake But Are Actually True Part 2. Max Holloway absorbed over 2,000 significant strikes. This is a UFC record, and he's never been knocked out during a bout. Don't forget, he's fought Jose Aldo, Brian Ortega, Conor McGregor, and Frankie Edgar, just to name a few. Also, Max Holloway's real first name is Jerome. Chandler Jones, Arthur Jones, and John Jones are all brothers. Dustin Poirier is the only UFC fighter to beat both Michael Chandler and Max Holloway via submission. Daniel Cormier was listed at 5'11" for most of his career, but he's actually 5'9". Nate Diaz is younger than Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. NFL legend Jim Brown did color commentary for UFC 1. Rest in peace to Jim Brown. Lando Vannata finally has a record streak. Unfortunately, it is a 2-bout losing streak, but up until then, he has never won, lost, or have a draw in 2 fights in a row, up until his April 16th bout this year when he lost for a second time in a row. Clay Guida's UFC debut was on October 14th, 2006. To put that into perspective, Raul Rosas Jr. was just 2 years old at the time. He was born on October 8th, 2004. Raul is also the youngest UFC fighter to ever win a debut at 18 years and 63 days old. Benson Henderson has a hidden toothpick in his mouth during a lot of his UFC fights. He says he does it out of bad habit, as he has a habit to leave toothpicks in his mouth after meals and just keeps them there for long periods of time. It technically wasn't illegal during his bouts, but many critics consider it bringing a sharp object into the octagon. But this was more of a detriment to Benson himself than his opponent if you think about it. He even claims to accidentally once swallowing a toothpick during a bout. It's pretty common knowledge that Khabib Nurmagomedov has never lost in his professional career, going 29-0. But did you know he's never bled in the octagon either? Not once has he ever been cut or drew blood while in an official bout. Lyoto Machida has a 65% takedown accuracy in the light heavyweight division. This is actually the highest accuracy percentage in this division. Adesanya is the first 2-time middleweight champion in UFC history and only the 4th out of 15 fighters to win their titles back in an immediate rematch. UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski currently weighs around 155 pounds, but as a rugby player he weighed over 214 pounds. Don't forget that Dennis Hallman beat Matt Hughes 2 different times, and in each victory he did it under 60 seconds. Frank Trigg claims to have been hated by UFC officials during his career as a fighter. Then he became a UFC official himself. The first UFC to be aired on cable TV was UFC 37.5. Despite the rumors and speculation, Dana White has never had a pro boxing fight. He did fight as an amateur and trained with other pros, but he was never a pro boxer himself. And speaking of Dana White, here is Tito Ortiz and Dana White, and they are, I don't really know how to explain this though. So here were UFC Facts That Sound Fake But Are Actually True Part 2. Let me know if you want to see a Part 3. Don't forget to tap out that like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. I'm Ringside Rewind, and I'll fast forward to you later.